15-year-old JJ Gabriel in Manchester United first team training. We have been warning that this was on the cards, and it has happened today. The man himself, or the kid himself, has actually been all over Instagram posting pictures in his training boots. First team training was the tagline. Made up for him. What an achievement that is. Now, next steps for him. We'll talk about what this means, how this can now actually progress for Manchester United going forward, and the importance of giving JJ Gabriel that time in the first team, making him feel like he is necessary at Manchester United and has the future. Big implications as to what is happening this week in that one, and more than people are actually thinking about right now. All the other news and stories as well. More talk about Harry Kane. Seriously, will people stop asking questions about Harry Kane? We'll go into it anyway. Yes, of course. And then after we were talking about it this morning, all of a sudden a major journalist starts talking about it and people start taking it seriously all of a sudden. I did actually talk about Conor Gallagher this morning, and other people have started talking about it again. In fact, there's another journalist who's actually gone in and started talking about the story we brought up about Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford's 100% profit actually benefiting Manchester United in the summer. Seems like some journalists need to actually get doing a bit more work, maybe. Well, look, it is what it is. We all share information and we all do our own reporting in our own ways. We are out talking on video. Some people just write it. But we will talk about all of that as well later on and get some opinions on it. And the look ahead to Brighton really has started to kick into gear. The weekend starts tomorrow. Don't forget, we start weekends on a Friday here on Forever United TV. The press conference, Ruben Amorim will have that covered in full live detail, reacting to everything Ruben Amorim said ahead of the Brighton game. We have one player injured. Oh, I still can't believe I'm saying that. One player, and he's back in training. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But that is where we're at. No excuse. Let's get into it. Get into the live comment section, everybody. Give me your thoughts. Let me know how you're feeling about the game this weekend as well. Now we can start really talking about it as well. Don't forget as well, also, as part of that match day weekend, our match day sponsors, Match Bingos, are back in with their big bonuses as well. Use promo code FUTV when depositing into your account on Match Bingo, and being with a chance of winning up to £200 on the game this weekend against Brighton. Manchester United, Brighton always bring goals. Good chance of getting your card filled. So £2 a card on Match Bingo. You can get 5 cards for the price of 4 right now on there. And like I said, if you put promo code FUTV in on your deposit stage at that part of the app, when you're putting your money in, put in FUTV in the promo code section. Double your money, people. No matter what you put in, you will double it with FUTV in there. Get to it. It's a big one. JJ Gabriel, how far away is he from turning out on that Old Trafford turf in front of 70+ thousand Manchester United fans? Could he be a star of the future of Manchester United and in that new stadium? Could he be our next Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Roy Keane, David Beckham? Well, if you're playing at 15 alongside Manchester United first team players, I know it's only training, I know it's accounting, but 15. What's this, year 10? Something like that. We've been talking about this and building up to this, and finally we can actually make a show and start a show on the fact that we've got a 15-year-old training with our first 11 and the rest of the first team squad. It is ridiculous, but this is how good this kid is. And I said in the intro, the implications of this, the reasons behind this, are bigger than what everybody's looking at. Woo, yes, 15-year-old in Manchester United's first team. That's nice, that's pretty, that's good to see. No, Manchester United are having to move heaven and earth to try and keep a hold of JJ Gabriel. Only in the last month, I've looked at reports linking him to Arsenal, Barcelona and Real Madrid, ready to come in and steal him away from Manchester United. He has signed his 2-year deal, which is the maximum you can sign as an academy player at that age. So we've got him until 2027. At that point, he will be turning 16, 17, around that time. This time in a couple of years' time anyway. So what we're looking at here is, at that point, this kid ready to come into Manchester United's first team. This is where it's going to be. You only have to look at the teams I've just mentioned and the players that they have brought through. If you are looking at this as JJ Gabriel and his family right now, and you're looking at Barcelona, Lamine Yamal, Arsenal, Bowman, Real Madrid, Hendrick and many other younger players that have come through at Real Madrid, not so much come through at certain points, but brought in, still making their appearances as young teenagers as well, then you see a future. And Real Madrid are knocking on Manchester United's door for JJ Gabriel. United are having to do a lot. Last season we've seen a 14-year-old JJ Gabriel appear for the under-18s 4 years ahead of his time, you can say, easily on that one. And that was because he wanted convincing and needed convincing to stay at Manchester United. Is he important? And when you have got the biggest brand deal in the Nike deal that you signed since Neymar of that age group, then you know that there are big things coming for this kid. You only have to watch the raw talent videos of him kicking a tennis ball around, the skill, the fact that he's the leading goal scorer in the under-18s right now at age 15. It's ridiculous, and the amount of quality we've got in this kid is off the scale. We're talking Mason Greenwood, we're talking class of 92, we're talking Paul Pogba's, this type of absolute quality here in this kid, and there is more to come. It's just down to Manchester United. And do you know what? Everything that I've been talking about, the structure of Manchester United, what we're doing, everything that we're trying to develop and bring through at Manchester United, like bringing our own through. So Jim Radcliffe talking about the academy, things like this. Manchester United, I think right now are in the perfect stage and position to really get the most out of JJ Gabriel. We want him to be a superstar of the future. We want him to be the next class of 92, Cristiano Ronaldo level type of player. That's what we need him to be. Worst case scenario, we get an absolute bumper pay packet for him when he turns around about 19, 20 or something like that. So we will see in time, because these players always want to drift off to your Barca's and Real Madrid's. It's up to United to get themselves up there now and prove that they are worthy of a player like JJ Gabriel coming through, because it sounds ridiculous me saying that. Why are we bending over backwards for a 15-year-old kid? We're Manchester United, yes, I know, and there is no one player bigger than the football club, but he will go elsewhere for nothing unless Manchester United are actually relevant and competing at the highest level. We need to be right up there, and we're talking challenging. So when he comes of age and he's ready to sign that first scholarship/professional contract at Manchester United, he's only going to sign it if United are really up there competing. So this next 2 years, and we talked about this morning, make Europa League, then build and make the Champions League. We have to be playing at the highest level, otherwise we're going to lose talents like this. And I get what everybody's thinking at the back of their heads. Why are we going out of our way to try and keep hold of a kid like this? Like, he's never played for the first team. We cannot just be giving the world to a player like this. This is what the big clubs do. This is what they do to keep their best talents, their best players at their football clubs. I've told you the story before, and what I was told about Mason Greenwood and what Manchester United did and how much they gave him, how much rope was given to Mason Greenwood in certain decision-making moments with the club. Honestly, it was run really poorly when you listen to the story. But if Mason Greenwood didn't like someone, that player didn't last at Manchester United. I'm not saying that is how it is now. I think it has completely changed. But still, the club have to make it look like they have got a big, big plan for this player. And the fact that he has been fast-tracked so quickly tells you that there is something here. To go from playing in Manchester United's, under 16s and under 15s, to within a year, not even a year, coming through, making his debut in the under-18s, and then starting in the under-18s and becoming the leading goal scorer in that league as well for Manchester United, and now training with the first team, all within the space of about 8 months, tells you exactly where Manchester United are at right now. And guess what? Yes, he signed that new 2-year deal within that period as well. All moves made to try and keep this kid on track at Manchester United and make sure that we don't lose out on another absolute raw talent. Because let's be honest, the last thing that we need right now as a Man United fan base is another talent slipping through the nets and getting away from this football club. It's happened so many times now. We have to now start doing a bit more and being a bit more prepared. And the structure, I think, is definitely there now for Manchester United. And I think it is going to help us keep hold of these types of players. So let's see how this one develops and what happens. I do think that JJ Gabriel, if he impresses in training, come the end of the season, I honestly would not be surprised if there was some kind of first team involvement. It's like in the squad but not on the bench or something like that. I doubt he's going to ever play for Manchester United this season. But I think next season, that question is going to be asked. I really do think that next season we could be seeing JJ Gabriel a lot more and in first team as well. And that sounds ludicrous. And you know I won't just jump the gun on anything like that. From what's been said and what's been talked about and how good he is and how fast-tracked he's been put through Manchester United's academy, how he's blown every single level away that he's played at, tells me that there is something really special at this in this kid. And we could indeed see the next Lamine Yamal or something like that. Look, the fact that all of these clubs want him and Manchester United are doing everything in their power to keep him tells you the talent that he has got. Everyone around the world and every single scout, every single football, any single football club with any credit at all, or any history or any stature, is looking at JJ Gabriel and wanting this kid in their team. And we've got him. And we have to do everything in our power to try and keep hold of him as well. Let's get some comments on this. I'm nervous about the Brighton game because in the past 4 seasons, Brighton had an edge over Manchester United. I'm still wary about the United defence. Brighton are scary for Manchester United. They are. JJ Gabriel has only been 15 for the past 2 weeks. Yes, he has. He only did just turn 15. I think 2 weeks ago. You're dead right on that, buddy. Please keep liking the video, everybody, as well. Make sure you get your comments into the live comment section. And if you are catching up later on, please do also get your comments in the comment section there also. No other football, no other Champions League football tonight. We're not covering the Europa League. It just isn't worth it, is it, unless Manchester United are in it. But keep your comments coming in on all of these topics. Thank God football's back now. These weeks are getting longer and longer, aren't they? Trying to survive without football throughout the week with Man United is painful. I'm just heaping more and more importance on this Brighton game because we need to be winning these games so we can feel like we're competing and we're going to get back into Europe. And this doesn't happen again because this will be a catastrophe 2 seasons in a row. Like not having any football in the week. I don't know about you guys, but it's absolutely destroying my soul. Honestly, it is so bad. I thought I could handle it, but I'm struggling without the football. It would be great if Gabriel came through and the other outstanding academy players too. Around him, he is... United are blessed. In the under-18s, we are blessed. And everybody gets bored of me going on and on and on about the academy players. Some people might not. But I know there are people there. Oh, here he goes again. Adam's on it with his youth academy players again. I don't care. I love it. And I know that this kid is going to make it. If he don't make it at United, then we're idiots. We're absolute idiots. Because this kid will blow it up. Absolutely blow it up. What's what we got in here as well? Adam, have you heard anything from Lewandowski from Barca for Manchester United? He's 37, but he's still fit. I have heard it, mate, and I ignored it because I thought it was ridiculous. Not in what you said, the fact that he is still fit, still got it at a certain level. I just don't think Manchester United are going to buy a 37-year-old player or even give a contract to a 37-year-old player. Not while Ineos are in town anyway, guys, mates. I have heard of it, though, yes. I think we did mention it yesterday, but for about 30 seconds for that reason. This World Cup year, that's why the usual suspects are not injured. That's looking into it a bit deep there, Colin, isn't it? Anyone else seeing people's email on some messages instead of their screen name? I don't think so. I can see everyone's in Arial, mate. I don't know if it's just yours. Maybe it's just having a bit of an update or something on Google, but obviously both linked together, so you never know. Let's give it a bit more time. I think it should come back round to normal again, mate. This kid, no, can't play a non-game for United now. Does that mean that he can't play any game for United now? Yes, he can, but he's not going to. Like I said, the end of the season, pre-season, we may see JJ Gabriel on tour with Manchester United's first team. And then I think next season is when it really happens. If Yamal can do it, so can JJ. Yep, that's like I said. You're looking now, the players are getting younger. You look at Bowman, you look at Wanyeri, you look at Lamine Yamal. Like 16, 17-year-olds are breaking into first teams. By the time Yamal is 16, I'm telling you, there will be a massive, massive push to try and get him into Manchester United's first team. It will happen, everybody. You have to get in with it. You have to take it seriously. It is something that is going to be on the cards. Guaranteed. Brighton were excellent against Newcastle. Amber Labour is back to his old self. Welbeck is on fire. Nightmare game this weekend. I keep saying it is going to be a tough old game for Manchester United. I don't expect an easy ride at all, but United are going to have to stand up. They have to win their home games. And let's be honest, we are ahead of Brighton in the league. So let's look at that. We've played the top 4. We're ahead of Brighton. We're at home on the brink of 4 wins in a row. We should be going into this game confidently and looking to take Brighton down. That's what we should be doing. Look, let's get through the other news as well. Keep your comments coming in. We'll have a bit of a section at the end for the Brighton game. Also, we are obviously going to be looking at it in a lot more detail tomorrow with Ruben's press conference and everything else building up to it. Talk of Harry Kane again. I said it before. This needs to stop. Harry Kane is not going to come to Manchester United. If Lewandowski's not coming, neither is Harry Kane. I just can't see Manchester United spending money, which it's going to take. Lewandowski's a different scenario, coming to ends of contracts and things like that. But you're going to have to pay 40 to 50 million for Harry Kane. I just don't think Manchester United are going to do it. I think Ben Jacobs has been saying that it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go to Spurs if he's coming back to the Premier League. The links to the Premier League don't mean that he's going straight back to Spurs. He would be open to going to another club. Look, Harry Kane wants to beat the Alan Shearer Premier League record, English record for goals scored. And I think if he does come back and has a couple of years, he will do it. And then he can say he's won trophies. Then he can say he's travelled and gone to another country. And he's broke the records. And maybe he picks up a World Cup. Shh, don't say that. Can't say that out loud. England winning a World Cup? No. Look, them stories are going to continue with Harry Kane. It's just going to be one of them where the stories until, well, if he keeps on scoring and doing what he's doing, then people are going to say, well, he is going to fetch that price. He is going to be looking to come back to the Premier League. He's still got it. And teams will probably pay the money for him. I don't think Man United are one of them. I just don't think Ineos are in the market, like I said before, for players over the age of 30 to buy into the football club. And Harry Kane's going to be even older than that. So, no, I don't see anything happening. I really don't. I'd love Kane for Kane 3 years ago, but now people were dissing Kane when we could have got him. That was madness to me. No, Kane should have come into Manchester United when we bought Rasmus Højlund. We should have bought him 2 years ago when Bayern bought him, and that would have, I think, steadied the ship, I feel. No, I'm not doing a Lindelof watch-along. No, I'm not doing that tonight. Definitely not, mate. Don't even tease me with that one. Would have loved Harry Kane, but we need to now progress Sesko. I think he will progress as well. By the way, everybody, do you think Sesko starts this weekend? Brighton game coming up. Do you think Benjamin Sesko starts for Manchester United this weekend? Is that on the cards? What do you reckon? Or is it going to be the same as it was against Liverpool? I actually think that Benjamin Sesko will come in and will play ahead of Mason Mount this weekend. I think that's the way United are going to go. I think at home anyway, I think they feel a bit more confident, and I think he is a real weapon for Manchester United. I was surprised he didn't play against Liverpool, but look, no one's moaning about that now we've got the win. So I think he does come back. I didn't rate Mason Mount as highly as I have done already this season. I think that was probably his most average game for Manchester United. So I think Sesko in and we carry on where we left off. I don't think there's going to be many more changes. I'd be very, very surprised if Ruben changes a lot in this game. I think everyone who played in that showed that they were playing for the manager, and I think they'll all be rewarded and they'll all keep their place in the team. I do think that Benjamin Sesko deserves to come back in, though, more than anybody else. So, yeah, I think Sesko will be the one change this weekend and he'll start. Can Man United maintain consistency against Brighton? Because each time we expect a good result after a good win, we often take one step backwards. Well, no, this time we've won a game after a good result. So we've won 2 in a row now. So now we're into no man's land. Now we don't know which way we're going. Because we've won 2 games, what happens now? Is it as simple as it's just United and we're just going to end up having a nosebleed and thinking that we have to lose a game and we lose a game again? Or if we actually beat Brighton, then we move on to 5 wins into the top 4 and actually, for that time, ahead of Liverpool in that league table, which would be staggering, by the way. It really would. But 3 wins in a row for Manchester United within the first 9 games of this season with the teams that we've played, comfortably into the Champions League or European places, wherever it takes us this weekend. I would take that all day long. But we'll see, won't we? Can you believe Xerxes was striker last time against Brighton? We might have even won a penalty back then. Well, kind of shows you how Manchester United have evolved, doesn't it? Like, we've gone from having the likes of Garnacho, Rashford, Xerxes to now having Cunha and Bumo and Sesko. It has been a big change around. And we have got better players that are going to do more for Manchester United in these bigger games that we're usually expecting to lose. Don't get me wrong, like, this is one game I would walk into. If we didn't make, like, for instance, last season I went into the Brighton game expected to be beaten. I didn't think it was going to be an easy game. I always fear these games now. The Crystal Palaces, the Bournemouths, the Brightons, they've all got our number. They know how to play against us. It's time we turn the corner, and this would be, I've said it all week, and I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but this is massive for United. This game shows a lot of people we're beating them teams that we've always struggled against. We've beaten Liverpool, first time in 9 years. We've beaten Sunderland at home. But this one, and if you go back on my videos, I've always said is the big one. This is where I thought, because I didn't think we'd beat Liverpool, the jury would be completely in and out. Jury out on Ruben Amorim. This is the one that I said was the biggest one for me, and I thought he would be gone by Brighton. If he wins it, then he's completely shut me up. And I think 90% of the fan base, even the biggest doubters, will be out. And I think we'll be convinced if United can beat Brighton. I do. Look, it's still only 9 games into the season, and there's a long way to go. But this is exactly the point and the stage where United would start to just slip away. And this has happened. The last 2 seasons, this is where we have been. Just slipping away when everyone's just gaining momentum and gathering points, heading into the last international break. United have just always just drifted away. Now, United have this chance. And if we do beat Brighton, then bang, in we go. More talk, by the way, again, and a few other journalists talking about Job Bellingham. There could be a mad scramble and a rush for him in January. Don't count on that move out. Playing a bit better for Dortmund, and our man Gary will vouch for that, I'm sure, as well. He can give us the lowdown on where the fans are at over in Dortmund. Gary in the chat there. United fan in Dortmund. But still, again, when you're looking at what we were talking about this morning, and pretty much every day this week, a different type of midfielder Manchester United are linked with, it's just going to continue. The only time this is going to slow down or stop is if United continue winning games, because we're actually going to start to look at what we've actually got and surviving a season with what we have actually got, because this should have always been the case. Going straight back to what I said at the start of the season, Manchester United, with no European football and no distractions, should always, and I mean always, be ahead of everybody else. There's no excuse. And to be able to prepare amongst all them other teams that are in Europe and take advantage of that extra rest time and preparation, and that's what other clubs did. That's what Newcastle did the season before last. That's what Nottingham Forest did last season. No European football. Take advantage of it and get yourself right back up there. That's where you take full advantage of everybody else's fixture schedules. And United should be doing this. Maybe we will see it. Maybe we will see this. So, what we're looking at here, I feel now, is in terms of the January transfer window, we said this morning, Conor Gallagher, realistic. Ben Jacobs has actually come out today and said the story I keep hearing about and the name I keep hearing about is Conor Gallagher to United. Like, we was actually ahead of him with that story this morning. I know he probably knew before, and it's just the first time he's spoken about it. But look, these are the opportunities that are going to come around. These are the opportunities that United are looking for in January. And I didn't just make that story up this morning. There is actually talk from the Spanish side of things about Conor Gallagher's game time dwindling and in potentially looking for a move away in January and open for a loan. If Real Madrid sanction a loan option, United, like Ben Jacobs said, like I said this morning, why wouldn't you be? We know that Manchester United did touch base with the potential for this deal in the last stages of the window. If he's available in January, United will go for him. and they will make an attempt to sign Conor Gallagher on loan. And it would benefit Manchester United. Not many people were agreeing with me this morning. They weren't too keen on bringing Conor Gallagher into Manchester United. But, look, he's one of them players that I think will just give us a little bit more energy in that midfield. Proven experience, like I said. And I do think that it would be beneficial for Manchester United to have that extra body in midfield. You can talk about what you think Kobbie Mainoo is going to do. There is more reports come out today about Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo is not leaving Manchester United no matter what this January. Let me know your thoughts on that. More stories coming out today about Manchester United just shutting down any potential move for Kobbie out of Manchester United. This is probably going to come to a head, I would think, into the new year. Ruben needs to find a way to replace Kobbie Mainoo at this stage. He needs somebody else to come in. I've said it before. It doesn't even matter if Bruno Fernandes leaves in the summer. If you're bringing in more midfielders, then Kobbie's still not going to feature. I just don't think he rates him. I don't. I'm being completely blunt and honest. I don't think Ruben Amorim rates Kobbie Mainoo. And that will upset a few Man United fans. There'll be quite a lot of people there saying that cannot be the case. Like, how can you not rate Kobbie Mainoo? He doesn't rate him in his system. And he's a stickler for it, isn't he? If you're not what he wants, you don't get isolated. You're not frozen out. You just don't play. You're involved in training. You talked up. You talked about effort-wise and everything like that. But you just don't feature. He just leaves you out, doesn't he? And that's the problem that he's got now. And again, it's going to be an awkward situation because Kobbie Mainoo not playing for Manchester United is going to seem very, very strange to a lot of Manchester United fans now. But that's the reality that we're looking at. He's not got a chance, I don't think, of getting into this Manchester United side. Not while everybody's fit. He is praying that somebody gets injured right now, and Manchester United are desperately in need of bringing him in. Just quickly on the Job Bellingham story, that was Football Insider again on that one. With limited game time, Borussia Dortmund may loan out Job Bellingham in the winter window, and Manchester United are showing interest. Conor Gallagher, Job Bellingham, we've been saying it all along. Loan deals and potential loan deals for Manchester United are the way that this window is going to go in January. Nothing permanent. It's just not going to happen. The players are not there. Stella is staying till the end of the season and might be an option for United as one of 2 or 3 midfielders that come in. We know that Baleba Wharton and Elliot Anderson are going to be summer signings as well for other clubs, maybe United. But this window, you are looking realistically at what we've got in the academy, or the likes of Joe Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, whether you like it or not. Actually, get into the comment section on this, please, everybody, and tell me, who would you take out of them two? If both were available for a 6-month loan to see you through to the end of the season, who would you go for? Joe or Conor Gallagher? Which way? Get into the comment section. I'll read a few more comments out before we get to that onslaught. I don't know which way that's going to go, but get your comments in on that, please. We don't beat anyone from 17th to 5th. Those teams in between the average Prem sides are the ones that we lose to. We always play well versus top sides and beat promoted ones in the mid sides. We're terrible against... You don't need me to tell you who's actually putting that comment in there, do you? You all know who that is. Right, so let's get a few of these in. Right, here we go. No, don't put in Buddy Baleba. We're not bringing Baleba in. So anyone saying that out of these two, you're going to be ignored. At Merrin, Neva, you can't say that. We need to bring one of them in. And just to play the game, pick one. At the moment, it's looking like Gallagher is the favourite. Hands down the favourite, actually. Conor Gallagher. Still, people are putting in the comments. I'm sure you're just putting them comments in about the other players I've not mentioned because I told you to. You're just on the wind-up, aren't you? You've got to be. Roddy don't want any of them either. Okay, go on. You can say neither of them, and we have no signings this January because no one else is coming in. I can guarantee it. In fact, would you prefer to have a Manchester United Academy graduate come through, like a Sekou Kone, Jimmy Thwaites, something like that, like we've spoken about before, over Conor Gallagher and Joe Bellingham? Would you rather that happen? Come on. Guys, look, seriously, I'm not talking about believe. Why do people not listen? If you had to choose between two of the loan players that could potentially come in January, Joe Bellingham or Conor Gallagher, who would you go for? That's the question. So people saying Belabor, Wharton, Anderson, they're the summer. They're not even in this conversation. They will come in time. Out of these two, who would you take? Because they're the ones that are being talked about. And still people come up with other names. Oh, yeah. I love you all too. Sometimes it's like, did I say what I said? Like, are they not listening to me? What's going on right now? Why are all these different names coming up? Rago with a super chat says, I'm going to be positive. We win this Saturday. Glory, glory, Man United. There's nothing wrong in being positive. Looking ahead to the game, we're in decent form. 3 wins in the last 4. I think every single United fan should be looking forward to this game, anticipating some form of decent performance at Old Trafford again. There's nothing that tells us this season that United can't put on a decent performance at Old Trafford. We've been good in the home games this season, and even when we lost to Arsenal, we were very good. This is the first real big test of a team that knows how to play against Manchester United. The big games are the big games. There's always a lot of emotion, and there's always a lot of occasion. That's the best way I could describe the bigger games, actually, that creep into them. And players get nervous, and it's built up. These are the games that I think are the hardest ones, even for other clubs up there, to be honest. They always are. And again, it's Manchester United, I think, it is the biggest test out of all of the games this season for us. It is like Brentford's, the Fulhams. Look, we've struggled against them two already. They've shown exactly what they're made of. And away from home, I don't fancy us against these types of sides either. But at home, you have to start beating them. You have to beat Bournemouth, Brighton, Palace, Fulham, Brentford. You have to beat all of them teams at home. If you are doing that, then that is definitely a step up from last season, and we're moving forward. So that, I think, is where we're at with a lot of the fans anyway. I would say neither of them. I would integrate Kone into the squad and spend big in the summer. Most likely, Belabor will be coming in the summer. That's fair enough. That's a good comment. Connor or Goretzka, is that supposed to say? Goretzka from Germany? Lamens is the missing piece now. We're going to win and win. Kone and Jim from the academy, please, says Gehen. Yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. And like we said at the top of the show, Manchester United Academy is going to feed this first team now for many a years to come, hopefully. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe's got anything to do with it anyway. So, yeah. I do believe that we are in good hands with who is in charge of Man United's academy now. And they will come through if they're ready. And Ruben Amorim will know when them players are ready. I think he'll see something in JJ Gabriel. He has already met him. He has already met his dad as well. There has been a lot of talk about that meeting as well. They love Ruben Amorim, apparently. JJ Gabriel's family. So I've been told anyway. So... yeah, let's see. Let's see how this one develops with JJ Gabriel in particular, because he is the one that everyone's going to be talking about in the future. But maybe it won't be just him. Like the comments I just said there in midfield, maybe we will see some other players come through now. And Manchester United won't be going out buying 4 or 5 players. I would love us to... Villa were 2-1 down. Thanks for the update, Madhouse. I would love us to actually... buy 3 absolute blockbuster signings in the summer, and then maybe fill a couple of other places up on the bench with a good quality talent from Manchester United's academy. I think we need a half a team bringing in new faces anyway. So that's made up with some academy players and some purchases, because I expect Manchester United to have to pay a lot for the type of player that we need this summer. And we've talked about it already. The price of the midfielders that are going to be coming in at Manchester United are are going to break our transfer budgets. They're going to break our transfer record if we want to get them in. So 3 players of absolute quality to go into the starting 11 or compete for the starting 11 at least. And then maybe the bench players can be, because we've got rid of some of the older players, some of the academy lads coming in. I do think that we have got experience in this Manchester United side now. Even if you get rid of the likes of Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, De Ligt's a leader, Mazraoui's a leader. Don't forget, people don't think that these players have played anywhere. Like De Ligt's gone from Ajax to Juventus to Bayern Munich to Manchester United. This guy is experienced more than anyone else in this Manchester United squad right now. He's played at the highest level in 4 different leagues across Europe. He is an absolute leader, and international level also. So when we talk about leaders, when we talk about experience, you've got De Ligt, you've got Mazraoui in there as well, who is more than experienced than anybody else. I think he's now, if Bruno, Casemiro, and Shaw and Maguire are out, Mazraoui is our oldest player at 28. I think he will be. That would be the way forward for Manchester United. I would be happy if we were trying to bring through the younger players, still keeping hold of enough core experienced players in there as well. And let's not forget, you've got Cunha, late 20s, and Bumo, late 20s as well. The experience is there, I think. And I think these players are good for the Manchester United culture as well. So, yeah, I would be happy with bringing in quality over quantity, definitely. That's worked for us so far, this transfer window that's just gone. And getting the right player, I think, is more important than getting the right number of players. I think that's got to be Manchester United's top. I expect Manchester United to make 3 major signings in the summer. God knows what's going to happen in January. Like we just said, it's just going to be mix and match, loans, best that's out there. I have no idea how January is going to go, but I do expect Manchester United to try and get something done. Goalkeeping department has been sorted. Focus more on midfield. Maybe a new defender. This just depends on Harry Maguire, like we discussed this morning as well. Wing-back has been discussed for the left-hand side. Obviously, you've got Dorgu, who can play both left and right. And you've got Dalot. I think Dalot is surplus to requirements and needs moving on now. I think it's that time for him. Then maybe a centre-back, but if Harry signs, I don't think we need another centre-back necessarily straight away. The goalkeeping department sorted, like CRM says there. You're looking then, there's only one area. Throw all of your finances that you have got available into midfield. And in fact, you could go out and buy an Adam Wharton and a Carlos Baleba if you wanted, or an Anderson and a Baleba, whichever way you think is productive for Manchester United and how you want to play. I think you can get both of them. If you're concentrating on just there and you're going to blow your budget in one area of the pitch, I'd go out and get the 2 best midfielders that you can get and spend 200 million on 2 players if you had to. That's what I would do. I don't know if any else would, because they don't like spending loads of money on one player. They like to find their bargains. But would they spend all of that money on a very, very young player? That's the difference. Carlos Baleba with 3 years Premier League experience under his belt, that's a different ball game altogether, because that's another decade worth of talent at Manchester United for 100 million. And they'll just look at that and say, well, that's costing us, for the lifetime that player could be at Manchester United, maybe 10 million a season. And that's how they'll balance that out and how they'll finance it. Obviously, you're not going to give him a 10-year deal, but if he is the future, and he has got plenty of years on his side, he's shown in them 3 years in the Premier League, and he's only turning 22, then you're all over that. And you would invest a lot of money into that, because that's got longevity in it also. So I think United, out of all of them, probably would go big on Wharton and Carlos Baleba because of their age as well. And let's not forget, Prem-proven players at an age where they can give you years and some are worth as much as that selling club want, and United know it. And Brighton, I've got the right manager there to sort Baleba out. And like the comments have said, he turned back up again against Newcastle, just in time to play Manchester United. So United's going to have to they're going to have their wits about them with Carlos Baleba again this weekend. It's not going to be easy. But this is where I see Manchester United investing in the summer. And I think that I don't think they would be making too many mistakes if they went and spent everything on 2 new central midfielders. Move on Maguire and concentrate on getting Gehi. He's a top player. Gehi now linked with Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich have touched base. So Mark Gehi could be going joining his old teammate Michael Olise over in Bayern Munich now. Liverpool might have missed out on this one. Liverpool might not have missed out on Semenyo though. There's a lot of talk about him going to Liverpool and replacing Mo Salah in the summer as well. Another Manchester United target. I don't think Manchester United are going to go and battle anybody for any particular centre-back signing this summer. They are ready to go to war for the midfielders that we're speaking about. And that's where Manchester United are going to massively improve. 100%. That's where the money is being spent. Get some more comments in, please, everybody. Last time we played Brighton, the Clown was responsible for 2 goals, handing it to Brighton. Indeed, Andre Onana was. I was at that game. I could not believe what I was watching. But then again, I could, because I've seen it so many times. And that might make a difference. I tell you what, Senna Lammens will save Manchester United 12 points this season by just doing basic stuff and not gifting goals away and causing absolute chaos. And we'll see. But don't forget, like, a lot of people from that Brighton game will bring up the obvious, and I'll do it before anyone else does. Let's not forget Bruno giving the ball away for Morgan Gibbs-White's goal. But Morgan Gibbs-White did hit the ball right down the middle. And when you need a goalkeeper to bail you out after you do make a mistake, then Onana's not there. And it just went in every single time. Now someone can make a mistake and Senna Lammens might actually just save us. And that's what good goalkeepers are doing. And that's what every single top team in this league has got. They've got that bailout because they've got a quality goalkeeper. United just didn't have a bailout. The first team wasn't playing well, and we had a shocking goalkeeper. It was like double barrel. Like, you're crap, but then he's worse. So whenever you are having an okay game, he's still going to balls it up for you. Now you've got a goalkeeper who's having great games, and he's making everybody else play better as well because they've got more confidence that every single mistake that they make, and when the manager's asking them to be brave, they're thinking twice about it because they are not confident in what's behind them. That's your difference right there. And that's what Senna Lammens has brought to Manchester United. And that's what I was banging on about after that Liverpool game. You could just see the way they moved together. It was a lot more cohesive and it was in tune. That's the big thing for me. And that's where Manchester United are getting miles better. Agati and Menu played last time against Brighton. Bruno was 10. Do we think similar formation this time? Nope. Because Bruno will be at 8. And it will be, I feel, Mbumo, Cunha and Sesko. That's what it will be for Manchester United. Brighton are high energy and at it. United will go direct. They will do exactly the same thing. They will take that midfield out of the equation. They will take Brighton's pace players out of the equation. They will lure them into a false sense of security and then take their moments to pass out from the back. This is how they're going to do it. And Brighton will have to adapt their game a bit to counter Manchester United's directness because Hertzler will be looking at what Slot said. He'll be looking at how United played against Liverpool and thinking, they did this at home against Sunderland, so they're going to do this again. They're going to go direct. And they're going to have to deal with it. Brighton will have to change the way that they play because United's system is so basic and simple and easy to implement. It doesn't matter what you set up like. You cannot set up a team to counter long ball. You have to adapt in a different way. So what I mean by that is quite confusing. It's like Brighton cannot look at Manchester United in a pressing sense. They cannot go at Manchester United and think quick players, energetic players up front, win the ball back. That's where we win the game. That's not going to happen at weekend because Man United are going to go long and direct. And there's no way to counter it. You just got to be prepared for what's coming after that. You have to adapt to what United are going to do because they're going long. And Brighton are going to have to come at Manchester United instead of winning the transition and getting the ball back because of the press. That's where Man United have lost a lot of games, by giving the ball away and making stupid mistakes. So Brighton have to change their setup to deal with what Man United are going to do. And that's the difference this time. Ruben has gone basic and Ruben has gone simple. And it's working at the moment. Maybe Manchester United in time will adapt. Now, Ruben, when saying I'm not going to change, has changed. He's changed by the way that United play. And that subtle little chink, that little bit of something different from what Ruben's done, has made a massive difference to this team. Because this formation and trying to pass out from the back, you're on edge. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box, picking up the ball with that energetic Brighton side, Liverpool side coming at them. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be there. But Bruno Fernandes, Mbeumo and Cunha picking up the long ball and second balls off Sesko 3/4 of the way up the pitch, you're feeling a lot more comfortable with that, aren't you? That is where Manchester United are at right now. And no one has really talked about it, but Ruben has changed. He has adapted. And we've all been asking him to do it, but no one's talking about it because it hasn't been a change in formation. He's changed the way that he plays. And that is just in them 2 games going direct and picking up them balls. And then, through doing that, teams drop deeper to prepare, and then you can start playing out from the back and building with a lot more space, with less pressure on you. Because United have just tweaked it that little bit. So I think we need to give Ruben a little bit of credit on that one. And that's why this game should be different this weekend and not the inevitable, we're going to lose because it's Brighton at home, this is where United always fall down. No, we should be looking at this game and going, well, we are playing a different way now, and this isn't going to be the same old anymore. We're actually accepting what we are. Ruben's accepting that this midfield isn't press resistant. This defence hasn't got the recovery times in it if a mistake is made. And that transition, that turnover ball, is going to kill Manchester United. Bing! On comes the light bulb, and all of a sudden, we're looking at a more comfortable team on the pitch that are building confidence by playing basic football, playing the safe shot, playing the safe pass. Percentage football is what you call it. Right. That is pretty much everything for this evening, everybody. I've gone on big time there at the end. More talk on this tomorrow as we get closer to the Brighton game, of course. But for now, that is us all done, everybody. Please do make sure you scan that QR code on your screen right now. Click that link in the live chat or in the description if you're catching up later on. Match bingo, full effect this weekend, everybody. We want winners. We want big winners. We've already got a few with a few £100 in there, Skyrocket, in that chat right now. Scan the QR code, download the app, create your account, deposit your money into that account. When doing so, hit FUTV into that promo code section, all capitals, and boost your deposit amount by 100%. Double your money, people. Get in there now. It is 5 cards for the price of 4 this weekend. Again, have a laugh. You're missing out if you haven't already joined Match Bingo. Get involved, everybody. You will love it. It's dead easy to play, and we're going to win big again this weekend. So United win, and the fan base wins. Well, the subscribers here on Forever United TV will anyway on Match Bingo. Thank you, mods. Again, great job. Members, new members, thank you, everybody who's got involved in the chat, super chats as well. I'll see you all bright and early, 8 o'clock in the morning. Have a fantastic evening, whatever you're up to, everybody.